Lease agreement based on Mexican laws. In a lease agreement in Mexico, specific legal requirements set up in the Federal Civil Code and the civil codes of each state must be met. Next, a basic description of the requirements. 1. Identification of the parties. The agreement must include the full names, addresses, and official identification numbers, such as INE or passport, of the landlord, who is the property owner, and the tenant. 2. Property description. Specify the property's location with the full address and provide a detailed description, including the type of property, whether it's an apartment, house, commercial space, and so on, along with its significant features. 3. Duration of the agreement. Define the lease term, which can be either definite, meaning for a specific period, or indefinite, meaning without a fixed termination date. The rental amount and payment method are crucial elements of the lease agreement. Indicate the monthly rental amount, the currency in which the agreed amount will be paid, the payment date, the method of payment, whether it's bank transfer, cash, check, or another method, and whether there are any annual or periodic rent increases. The security deposit is another important aspect. Establish the amount of the security deposit, which is usually equivalent to 1 or 2 months' rent. Also, outline the conditions under which the agreed amount will be returned to the tenant at the end of the lease. Now, let's talk about the obligations of the parties involved. Specify the landlord's obligations, such as keeping the property in suitable condition for its use, and the tenant's obligations, like paying rent on time, taking care of the property, and not subletting. Use of the property. Define the permitted use of the property, whether it's residential, commercial, or something else. Also, it's important to prohibit any unauthorized or illegal use. Conditions for early termination. Include the conditions under which the lease can be ended early. This could be due to a breach by one of the parties or by mutual agreement. Penalty clause. Establish applicable penalties for a breach of the lease. This can include eviction or the forfeiture of the security deposit. Signatures of the parties. Both parties must sign the contract on all pages. A public notary may notarize it for greater validity, though this is not mandatory for all lease agreements. Witnesses. Include the names and signatures of 2 witnesses. Though this is not always needed, it can add legal security to the contract. Registration with the authorities. In some states in Mexico, it is possible, though not always mandatory, to register the lease agreement with local authorities, such as at the public property registry offices. This lease agreement template is based on current Mexican laws. If you need specific information or customization, consult a legal professional familiar with Mexican real estate and rental laws.